Well, salutations. Welcome to All Things Chadwick. This is going to be different than my ordinary videos. And I'll say first off, thank you for watching. I look as if I have no eyes because I don't have on any eye makeup, eyebrows, concealer. I don't have anything on my lips. I do have on earrings. I don't have on my Apple Watch, and I didn't fix my hair. Let me tell you where we're going today, just for a few minutes. I've taken off work for the day. You know, sometimes you just think, okay, I'll wait and I'll do that practicing later. I'll go to here later. I'll go finish that later. And I have the luxury of having positions for my career where I can usually, not always, but usually say, okay, I'm going to delay that or postpone that until later. I just took off work this morning and decided I was going to stay home and I needed a little me time. In my time not in front of this camera on this channel, and not in front of my friends, and not in front of family outside of my home, I am much more myself. For example, some evenings I get out of the shower and I throw on a long caftan, or a short caftan for that matter, like a muumuu, and leave my hair up in a towel and maybe throw on a long strand of pearls. These are long but they're doubled over. And just come waltzing into the living room, and my husband will look up, and he's used to this after 20 years, but he'll say, "Oh, there she comes." And we'll just kind of laugh, or maybe my daughter will laugh and giggle, and she usually tosses me a compliment. "Oh, I love that. Is that new? Or is that the one that you got last summer?" My husband is not uncomplimentary. He just usually says, rolls his eyes, and "Oh, there she comes." And I just feel more at ease in myself when I am relaxed and in things that some people would consider to be a little bit silly, or others that's outlandish or that's ridiculous, or yet others would think that's effeminate or sissy. It's just me. So here's what brought today's video on. About 9:30, I had finished doing a little project in the kitchen at the bar. I was coming in here to go over some music for this evening. Saw the mail carrier go by. There's a couple of things that I was expecting, so I thought, oh, let me go take my hair out of this and put some gel or something in my hair so my hair looks normal to some extent. And let me put my eyebrows on, and let me put on a black t-shirt and my Adidas jogger pants and a pair of shoes and go to the mailbox. Rather than just wear this caftan, and I had on these pearls that I put on this morning at 7:30, and I put my hair up in a scarf, so I just didn't have to look at it when I passed a mirror or whatever, this big bushy hair, curly hair of mine. And these iris apfel glasses are readers. They help me play the piano. And I thought, well, why, at my age and with my experience, why should I have to go change just to walk to the mailbox on a major highway? We live on a major highway. Am I afraid that someone may drive by and shoot me? I mean, I suppose they could. I don't think that's going to happen. Am I afraid someone's going to throw something out the window, like a rotten tomato or a pie? Or am I afraid someone's going to yell, "Sissy"? I mean, everyone out in this area knows that I live here. Most people know that I'm a little bit eccentric, and, everyone's super friendly and non-judgmental, or at least to my face. So I think it's just a learned behavior that, okay, when I go certain places, I need to fit into society's norms. And I will continue to do that to some degree, but today I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go to the mailbox just like I am. It will take me 2 seconds to put on some slippers from Turkey, the little slippers with the little curls on the ends. They're in my bedroom. I may show them to you in a few minutes. And I walked to the mailbox, came back from the mailbox, and I felt a little bit invigorated, proud of myself that I did not do what I've been doing for years and years and years. There have been many times in the last couple of years that I do wear a strand of pearls or a longer necklace or something to an event or an occasion, or even a wrap or something that would not ordinarily look like some would consider masculine. But I think what inspired me a little bit was Charles Nelson Riley. Now, some of you know the name, some of you don't. If you don't, you should go to The Life of Riley on YouTube. Reilly, Riley, not Riley. I'll put it right up here so you can see it. I think it's in 27, 28 parts, but it's a one-man show or a one-woman show or a one-human being show that he did in 2004, not long before he passed. And I cried and I laughed, and it was wonderful. Even when I was a little boy, I would see Charles Nelson Riley on talk shows or game shows, and he was always corny and silly and ridiculous and effeminate, and I don't really care for that word, but that's the word that most people understand. Just like the word sissy, I think it's cute, but I think it can also be taken out of context and used negatively. But I always really enjoyed watching him. And Paul Lynde and, others throughout history who, although they weren't blatantly, they didn't come out and discuss their sexuality, I just knew that there was something wonderful and interesting and unfortunately secretive about them. And so I watched that again over the weekend. I haven't seen it in years. And I shared it even with my daughter, and she really enjoyed watching it. It's an hour or so long. Charles Nelson Riley said when he was a child, he decided to do a puppet show. He was going to do a puppet show, and he had this thing that he was sewing. And he was sewing these little dolls. And he said, as you know, when your father walks into the room and he sees his only son sewing dolls, it's not like his dreams have come true for his only son. And so my father would always say, for God's sake, can't you go outside and throw a ball? And I didn't like playing ball. I couldn't catch the ball. I couldn't see the ball. The other children, I didn't understand how they could see the ball. And I would say to my mother, Mother, why does Dad always want me to go outside and throw a ball? And she was always screaming and wringing her hands and rubbing her head. And her reply was always the same. Charles, save it for the stage. Save it for the stage. Ma, why doesn't Mrs. Lebowski speak to you in the hall anymore? Charles, save it for the stage. And it seems like every story he told, there was something in it that I could relate to. Mother, why doesn't Dad like for me to sit with my legs crossed like this? Oh my God, Charles, save it for the stage. And then when I was 14, and I was taking acting lessons down at the theater, and I would come home and I would ask Mom if I could be in a show. My God, you can't learn all these lines, and you're sickly and you're ill and you have to eat beef broth. There's no way you could be in this play. Save it for the stage, Charles. Just save it for the stage. You're not old enough. And I would think, save it for the stage, and I want to be in this play. Now, my parents weren't critical and harsh. My parents were nothing like Charles Nelson Riley's parents, but just the things that how he portrayed his childhood and himself was so reminiscent of a lot of things that I would think as a child. For instance, I might have said, Mother, why can't I stay in here and in the kitchen and cook with you and Grandma and my aunts and my other female cousins during Thanksgiving? Why do I always have to go outside and play football with the boys? I hate playing football with my cousins. And my mother could have very well said, Chadwick, save it for the stage. Just go outside and play football with your cousins. I just want people to, and I know some of you are thinking, oh God, I've heard this same story so much in the last 10 years and in the media in the last 3 years or whatever. But, I just want people to be themselves and be comfortable. I see these new bills and acts and things in Florida and in Kentucky and, about drag queens and about, you can't talk about alternate lifestyles. And, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people agree with me, it's just a control issue. And there are groups of people, whether they're Christians or non-Christians, that their centuries-old agenda is control. And some people do not enjoy being controlled. Now, maybe great-grandma, back in the late 1800s, she enjoyed being in a controlled environment with her husband in control of every move they made, and she was so subservient. And if that's what you want to be, if you want to be controlled and manipulated and every move you make to be questioned or this authority over, then the more power to you. I'm sure you can easily find someone who wants to control and manipulate you, but not me. Yesterday, I was at the market, and a young lady, and I won't say her name, but she had on a name tag when I was checking out at the register, and my daughter was with me, and she said, oh, I love your glasses. Not these, the other glasses that are kind of rainbow colored. And I said, well, thank you. And she said, I recently saw a pair of glasses and my husband was with me. And I saw a pair of glasses like that and tried them on and I really, really liked them. And he said, oh God, you certainly don't need those. You need something either in a brown or a black. And of course, when she was checking me out at the register, she had on a dark brown pair of calm, subtle glasses. And I said, really? So are those the glasses you chose? And she said, yeah, I ended up getting these, but I think yours are really cute. And I said, well, thank you. And I said, do you want my opinion or a little advice? And she said, well, sure. And I said, go home and tell your husband to quit telling you what to do. Now, I certainly don't want her to go home and get, the beat out of her, for standing up for herself. But her response was, I know, I've always let people walk all over me. And that was really sad. Rosa and I had a discussion about that when we got in the car. We did not raise children to be walked all over. And even, my husband and I, we can have discussions and talk about this and that and give our opinions and, even have little disagreements about things. But he knows, sun up to sundown and all through the night, that in the end, he can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I think is right for me. And likewise, I'm not going to tell him what to do. He's going to do what he thinks is good and right for him. In the simplest, silliest little situations and scenarios, or the most important moves in life, we may discuss them, but we will eventually either do something together, or we will do it separate and do it the way we want to do it. I'm not going to get into that, or I just did, but now I'm going to get out of it. So, and cut the nails, but I had a different color put on. They're kind of an iridescent bottom of the sea, abalone, a little blue, a little purple, a little whatever. I'm not struggling, but I'm having some feelings about I'm going to be meeting some new people soon, and business related things. And I'm thinking, how do I need to dress? And how do I need to act? And I'm thinking, I haven't felt that way in forever. And why am I all of a sudden out of the blue thinking, oh, do I talk right? And do I have a lisp? And do I slur my words wrong? And are they going to suspect? Have you ever? So anyway, long live the spirit of Charles Nelson Riley and Phyllis Diller, Robin Williams. I'm talking straight people, gay people, in-between people, the whole spectrum of people who usually were the most phenomenal, colorful, artistic, talented people, but had these lives filled with struggles. Of course, everyone does. Everyone has struggles. But I'm grateful today to be happy. I hope your journey, I hope you're pushing through. And anyway, I'm tempted to just pull this thing off and let you see this fuzzy hair, but I'm not ready for that. Don't force me. So I hope you can enjoy being yourself. If you're just right on the edge, I say when you're ready, take the leap. And I'm not talking about killing yourself. I'm talking about when you're ready to just be you, or try that new thing, or paint your nails. If you're a guy, I know people online who are in heterosexual relationships and have children, and if their little boys or little girls want to paint daddy's nails, they let them. And then they even do a video, and someone will chime in, why are your nails painted? Oh, my little girl painted them, aren't they cute? Doesn't mean they're gay. Or maybe they are. What business is it of yours? I mean, people, I just wish people would be quiet for a minute. Just calm their mind. Just hush the chat in their minds and think reasonably. What business is it of mine if Chadwick has that on his head? Now, if it really is tormenting me that the Bible says this looks like a woman and he shouldn't have that on his head, I would have to beep out my response to that. Go. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon on All Things Chadwick. I just watched that back and the lighting was horrible, but I'm posting it anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm taking this thing off my... Look at this hair. Look at this hair. Isn't it fabulous? Look, it's just me, folks. I love you. I hope you love yourself. Take care of yourself. Truly, do it. Bye.